In this lesson, I will teach you about variables and some of the data types in C#. Variables are containers for values. You must first declare a variable before you can use it. As an example, I could declare a variable by typing var, then the name of the variable. We could also assign a value by using the equal sign, and then the actual value. Var is the declaration, message is the name of our variable, equal sign is the assignment operator, and the string value is the content that we would like to store on the message. By doing this, we could now use the variable message in other parts of our application. Like for instance, I could display it on a console window. Now if we run this, the console window displays the content of our variable, my message. We could also assign other types of data types on a variable like numbers. For example, I could declare another variable called number1 and assign it a number, another variable number2, assign it again a number. We could then use this variable to display again on console window. If we run it again, the console window displays the contents of our variables 20, 30, and my message. Now you have seen two types of data in C#. One is a number and another is a string. There is also other data types in C#, like Boolean. Boolean is just a value of true or false. There's also a double. A double is just a number with a decimal point. There is also a char. That is a representation of a single character. Now let me point out to you regarding this var keyword. This is a generic way of declaring the type of data that a variable can hold. But we could also become more specific. Like for instance, instead of using var, we could use string because we know that my message is a string. Instead of using var number, we can then use int. It means integer. Instead of var in true or false, we could use boolean or bool. Instead of bar in a decimal number, we could use double. Now instead of bar on my car, we could use car. By doing this, we become more specific. Our code becomes much clearer to read. I would recommend that you would use specific types instead of bar keyword because it adds readability. To wrap this up, we could also assign a variable to another variable. Like for instance, if I declare another variable, number3, and assign number2 to it, number3 would contain whatever the value is inside number2. So if I add another line here, and we run it again, the console window displays the three numbers, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 3 is just a copy of number 2. There's also some specific rules on how would you name your variable. A variable cannot start with a number, and also it could not contain any special characters. Like for example, I can't do this. As you could see, there's a red squiggly line underneath our variable, which means that Visual Studio does not want this. The green squiggly line is just a warning made by Visual Studio that our variable mycar is assigned but its value is never used. So that's the basic way of using variable. But there are still some concepts regarding data types that I will cover on a future video. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.